Magnificent. You truly have become more powerful. But I would expect no less of a remnant of humankind. You're a survivor of a lost tribe, aren't you?
Humankind?
Because he's Elder, you would call him a monster!
You should know the truth by now. After all that time I allowed you to spend on that pagan island. History as told by the Sanctus Church is a fiction. No doubt you saw all the evidence of a truer history. One that told of ancient times where the land was ruled by a far different people.
So you know about that, huh?
You mean the legends according to the murals and ruins from the temple?
Yufa! Don't humor him!
But if that war between gods truly did come to pass...
Gods? How droll. They may have governed all things with works far beyond ours, but they were no gods. They were an ancient tribe unlike any other race now lost. Wielders of true magic. The modern age saw them called Elda, shunned from our cities. But in their time, they were known as humankind.
I thought humans were those mad monsters. What are you trying to say now?
Luis, you dog! Your lies will soil His Highness's name no longer!
You believe it false? What would I stand to gain from lies?
Elda are actually humankind? Why wouldn't I know that?
Hear me! His appearance as a boy is mere trickery. In truth, he is humankind. He is kin to the feral monstrosities that roam this land, leaving carnage in their wake.
He doesn't know when to give up! No one would believe this madness!
No need to distress yourself. I'll show you the proof. You, boy, who call yourself the Prince. You will be the cornerstone upon which my utopia is built.
Utopia?
What's happening?
What ails him?
Witness the truth, good people. You would know the identity of your would-be prince. Here he is!
He's a monster! It's a human! He's hungry.
The truth of the humans is laid bare.
They're no beasts.
But another form of the Elder tribe. Cast aside their guise with magic, and they reveal their true colors. He is no royalty, no boy, but a ruthless fiend intent on your throne!
It's not true! It has to be one of the Count's illusions!
What illusion? That's no prince! He's a monster!
It'll kill us all!
What has become of him?
It must be Luis's wicked magic. Yet, the Order of Magna, it's exactly like a human's.
He's not!
He's a human.
Hey! Snap out of it! You have to stop this!
Afraid.
Be not afraid, child. 'Tis not thy true self. 'Tis not thy true fate. In this moment, thy mind is disturbed, twisted by the power of that man. The time has come. Thou must face the truth deepest within thee.
What's that about?
Remember again thy true self, the purpose of thy birth.
An ideal world. Even if reality crushes everything I believe in, even if my ideals languish, I know I can trust you to see them through. It's always been that way. Whenever my life's been the hardest, you are always there to help me through it. After all, you're mine.
Wake up! Wake up! Hey!
Are you well?
That's a lot of guards!
Yeah, I think so.
Phew. You seem coherent at least. We saw you take on a terrible, monstrous form. We knew not what to do.
You had vast reserves of magic poured into you. It was eating away at your body and mind, but I've managed to suppress it.
OTP! OTP!
He may be back with us, but without rest, he will surely succumb to the spell. I don't know if he can withstand the same magic a second time.
I will not let you die.
It would appear the throne is now mine in every sense. None remain to oppose me. Your vengeance is at hand. Will you not finally slay the monster and avenge your people?
Shut up!
Unfortunately, the prince is finished either way. Both this imposter and the true prince at death's door, deep in the woods.
The true prince? You bastard! What have you done?
Bloody hell. Is that why he called us here? It was all just a bloody distraction.
Your part in this has ended. Go where you wish, but I advise you run fast if you would outpace your hunters.
Seize the monster! I don't care if you have to kill it!
Attention now. This looks dire. How could you deceive us?
I knew all along that filthy lowborn was hiding something! Monster!
We retreat to our gauntlet runner. We must find him safe haven to rest.
It won't be long until the entire kingdom hears of this mess. We've no safe haven left.
Gallica, we've only got one option now. I'm worried about the prince too. I know. We'll head to my home, and the prince's refuge. The Elden Sanctum.
It was inevitable we'd make our way there one day. We just hope that it wasn't under these circumstances. Also, yeah, Luis has successfully turned a lot of the population against us, and it will continue falling as more people learn about what just happened. As expected, that just all seemed too easy, that final, one-on-one duel. It was all a trap all along.
Count Luis has saved the country! He has driven off the human who sought to usurp it!
Count Luis is our true savior.
Sounds like we've got our next king then.
Because, yeah, it always seemed weird to me that if Luis was so strong and so confident in his own victory, why would he make a spectacle of challenging you to a duel directly? Either he still somehow saw us as a threat, or he was planning something. Or perhaps both.
Might as well fall in with him. He'll keep us safe from any humans at the very least.
They'll be all right, won't they?
That boy is no monster. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Luis! What the hell did he do? Stay safe out there, boy.
The flow of that evil Magla was surely born from Luis's magic. What a terrifying force.
I'll remember that sight for the rest of my days. But he hasn't got you beat yet, my friend. You can't tell me the fight's over.
I just realized that 3 out of the 4 major characters that we see here are people that many wish were actually Bonds. They're pretty much guaranteed Bonds. Fabiana, Denny, and Batlin. It makes sense we wouldn't need to foster them ourselves.
Why?
It was more of a defeat than it was a departure. They bored the Gauntlet Runner, and rush from the capital, as though hiding from the shrieking animosity of the masses. What more can they endure? There is no light to be seen.
A hiding place for the Elder tribe. Wonders never cease.
Trust Neuros to still be somewhat chipper sounding when all of this mess is going on.
We can marvel at it later. The mirror hasn't shown me anything for a while. I can't even see the room now, let alone the prince.
No. Just after we'd finally resolved the curse, too.
Luis's final words trouble me. We must hurry on.
At first glance, it is a simple forest, deep as any other. But the observant may sense that every tree in its formation is ancient and grand, bathed in mystical serenity. The name of this place is familiar only to the few who grasp the truth. The ancient Elden Sanctum.
Can you walk, lad?
That's a relief. Seems like the rest on the ride here did him some good.
Poor chap's even got me worried. I'll shuffle along too.
Hey, I reacted poorly when you were turned into that thing. I apologize. My mind just went blank. For a moment, I doubted you. Forgive me. I should have recognized Luis's drivel for what it was.
It's how people like him operate. When you lose track of all rational thought, you'll just jump to conclusions, but the moment that you start thinking it more clearly, just like everyone who supports us did, they all realize now, no, clearly it was Luis who did something to Will. But just by getting enough people in the capital into a hysteria, he's already turned things against us.
It's behind us now.
Nothing will shake me like that again, I swear it. I will never turn from you. And here's hoping there can be no surprises worse than that.
But what a sea of trees. If we get lost in here, we're never getting out.
I can sense a special barrier in place. Meant to deliberately lead people astray, too. A perfect place to hide.
Just about to say, the whole, forest being easy to get lost in is probably why they kept the Sanctum here.
Gallica, how fares His Highness? Does the Farsight mirror yield any news?
No. I checked a bunch of times in the Gauntlet Runner. I'm not seeing anything. I'm worried.
Hurry and lead the way.
Right. Everyone stay close so we don't get separated. The village is this way.
Thankfully, we have a resident of this forest here to guide us. So, I believe we have heard of this song before, but this is the theme of the ancient Elder Sanctum. In fact, we even have the memorandum here. A secret village of the Elder tribe, located north of the Principality of Oceania, hidden deep within an uncharted forest on the northwestern side of the continent, it is also the place of refuge sought by the prince after being cursed in Grand Trad. Once a small city located above ground in the forest, it was senselessly set on fire at Forden's command, which led its residents to move their domiciles underground to feign annihilation. The settlement is hardly glamorous and small by nature, but the Sanctum has nevertheless preserved the lost history and knowledge of the old world, giving it a somewhat otherworldly atmosphere.
Let's hurry.
And that is yet another reason why Forden was so targeting of the Elder, because they also knew of the old history. Luis wasn't lying about that. In fact, Luis lies about very little.
Huh? This looks like...
The problem is, though, that Luis also never tells the full truth.
Who are you?
Are you alright?
The royal flower? A surprise to see them blooming here.
Something about this place. Yes. The flow of magla is strong here. It is much like the altar of the dragon god. The magla in the air seems to be concentrated here. What is this place?
Gallica, something the matter? Your mind seems elsewhere.
Oh, sorry. I've got this weird feeling that something really important happened here. Anyway, let's keep moving.
So here you are at last.
Textbooks, you don't need to hide the name. I would recognize that accent anywhere. He's back! But yeah,
Sorry.
here are the royal flowers, but Gallica seems to be a little confused. Well, I mean, the prince was sheltering here, right? Now, this might not be the best time to talk about this, but there is actually a gold beetle in the ancient Elder Sanctum, and it is the last permanently missable gold beetle in the game. Now, you don't need all of them to get the achievement for getting all the gold beetles. But around one of these ruined houses, I'm going to need to keep an eye out, because I want to get all the gold beetles in this playthrough.
How odd. This place is clearly in ruins, but it doesn't look like natural decay.
It was burned to the ground. One day, a bunch of kingdom soldiers showed up out of the blue. Without so much as a reason. They made an inferno of the place.
But why? Why would His Majesty order such an atrocity?
Thinking back now, it may have been Forden who led the charge. I can't be certain. But if it was up to him, he would have done it just to purge the filthy Elda tribe.
Definitely sounds like the thing that he would do. Remember when I said that Forden is similar to Lekain in more ways than one? This is why!
Luis claimed that the Elden people were just another form of the humans. If he spoke true...
They're not. There's no way. Anyway, more than half of the villagers died in the fire. And those who survived were forced to hide in caves. That way everyone would think they were wiped out.
'Tis a shrewd ploy indeed, to hide in a place the enemy themselves saw destroyed. Yet, why did Alcest? No matter. His Highness is in this cave, correct?
Yes, over there.
Will, are you okay? You seem to, like...
What?
Huh.
That...
He draws no breath. Likely a stab in the back. I doubt he even had time to shout.
That's less of a stab and more like a gigantic gashing slash across the back.
I recognize him. He was the associate of the first operative I came in contact with. He was a lot more skilled than those Sanctist warrior monks. Now...
Gallica, the cave is just ahead, yes?
Yes. It's past the woods.
Oh, then we move.
Yeah, so I'm just so determined to get to the prince that I was even skipping ahead of the dialogue there. Yeah, we need to get to the cave. Now, question is Gallica gonna actually let us go around here? Because I believe that around one of these ruins is that gold beetle. There it is! Aside from the ones around the northern border fort at the start of the game, that is the only missable gold beetle in the game, and now we have it. So, you don't actually need this, as I said before, but on my first playthrough, when I found out that I missed it, I actually reloaded and got it because I like to get things. Yeah, we've seen fairies in some of the cities before, but, these ones... Well, yeah, they're the natural inhabitants of this place. Gallica is going home.
Russell? safe!
Huh? My word. Is that you, Gallica?
I looked him up and this guy does not have the same voice actor as Azurda from Xenoblade 2. It does sound similar to me. Maybe it's a similar regional accent.
You were His Highness's tutor.
Hmm? I know but one red-tressed knight. Are you the royal guard? The Lady Hulkenberg? By the heavens. Then...
She's been helping us. Everyone here is a trusted ally. They've all fought to save the prince.
I do love that Neuros is here as part of the whole group.
Alas. Oh, what a tragedy. If this reunion had only been a moment sooner.
Russell, where is His Highness? What happened? Is His Highness safe?
A few days ago, those detestable cursed thorns finally faded. I cannot tell you how long I had waited to see them gone. It was truly a joy beyond words. It happened before we could fathom it. A lone stranger, a loathsome figure came striding in. His Highness had only just regained consciousness since the curse's lifting. Yet, to protect us, he threw himself upon the assassin's blade. We were horror-struck. His Highness lay pierced through the heart, and we saw him breathe his last.
No, that can't be true.
The stranger was a master of magic. None could match him. Of the Resistance's numbers, only I remain.
Who was responsible for this?
I don't know who the murderer was, but he cried his patron's name aloud as he did the deed. For Count Luis. From the moment he appeared, I believe his sole purpose was to kill His Highness. As soon as the lifelight left the prince's eyes, the stranger left, with only a smile.
An innocent boy, twice tormented in the clutches of assassins. All because of the family he was born into.
Luis, there really is no evil you won't stoop to.
Please, Russell. Where is the prince?
We've laid him in the prayer room for now, at the end of the cave. He rests just this way.
You're coming, aren't you, love?
I must go to him.
You're right. Maybe we'll find some way to help.
Ah, I'd heard a rumor that there was a boy candidate who claimed to be His Highness. So, that was you? 'Tis just as St. Rilla said. You're no scoundrel. Indeed, you risked life and livelihood to see His Highness restored. Strange. Something in you reminds me of His Highness.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Well, I will go before you to the prayer room. Once you are ready, you are free to join me.
That's good, at least.
You going to stay here?
No. I must bear witness myself. As his knight, I must.
Yeah, probably not a good time to be reading memorandum entries right now, but, I've avoided saying this until now, but yes, this music you're hearing, this also plays in the bad endings, which I feel is quite fitting.
I'm a little worried.
That voice clip, however, was not fitting. Yeah, just, I like, this part is great, but, like, I have to draw attention to the fact that, like, that was probably not the right voice clip to use here.
It's nearly time. Long have I waited.
Hey, you.
Beg pardon?
We are actually seeing other Elder here.
You must hurry. The time has come.
What? Sorry.
All was for this day. There is still time.
Sure. What?
Interesting how these fairies just seem very blissfully unconcerned with the affairs of regular people.
Hello there.
Now, before you go in here,
What now?
it might be a good idea to save. Well, June is still alive at least.
Hey.
This way.
Now, you may have noticed somebody in this room had a shop icon, which obviously wouldn't be present if all hope was lost. How will we find hope after this?
No. Your Highness.
Why?
I didn't realize anyone still remained to weep over this child. Huh? Gallica! You've returned!
Milady Gruade. It's been a long time.
May I ask who this is?
She is the chiefess of this village. The Hermitess Gruade.
She was kind enough to shelter the entire organization when His Highness fled to these woods.
I can't believe he's gone. I'm just some parapus orphan from the slums. I was never supposed to outlive any prince. Was he killed here?
No. It all happened in the bunk room in the back. We moved him here to the altar once all was quiet. I don't know if you'd believe me, but I received a revelation. Should the prince die, his body should be kept safe and still here until the rightful day comes. Even if the boy is but a bastard sired by that despicable man. He is still Her Majesty's son.
Despicable? What, you mean the king? Wait, who's Her Majesty?
Do you know nothing of the child's mother? The boy was not brought across borders to us. He was born here, in the ancient Sanctum. His mother was our past chiefess, the queen of our Elda tribe. She was a flower amidst the forests, a woman of such beauty, grace, and kindness. She saved this child from the flames, and it cost her her life. Her death is on that man's hands. Like a piper, he wandered in and seduced the young queen with his idealistic tales. But he failed to protect his family and died powerless. The village was only set ablaze because the boy was in the way of the Sanctus Church's designs on the throne. And that insipid king could do nothing to stop them. But you see, This boy, His Highness the Prince, looks so much like Her Majesty. And so... You there, boy. Are you perhaps... No, it can't be. And yet...
Is something amiss, Milady Gruede? He is one of Gallica's allies. His loyalty stands with His Highness, and he has risked much in the Prince's name.
Whoa! What's with the formal introduction? You were the one who gave us our orders in the first place.
Hurry.
Hey, are you okay?
The time has come. Here thou camest to the end of thy journey. This secret place was home to thee. Now, remember thy path thus far. Walk thy life's road and see it anew. I have been waiting for thee to overcome thy trials. Long have I waited for thy return. Know this, his life is not yet ended.
This voice...
It all started on that ill-fated day when the usurper thought to extinguish his light. Before he fades away, recount all thou hast seen and felt, all thou hast gained in thy journey's course. Gallica and thee sought to take the head of Luis, but thy efforts came to naught. So, ye moved instead to join a tournament to decide the land's king.
In the Prince's name.
Though thy plan was reckless, thou didst win the trust of the people by the support of peers and subjects alike. Thus, thou didst declare thyself the Prince.
It was all for victory.
After overcoming many obstacles, thou didst finally lift the Prince's curse. Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince
is no longer with us.
Thy sole mission was to save the prince. Bereft of him, thou hast no further reason to live.
That's not true.
If the prince is dead, wert thy efforts all for naught?
His will lives on.
So thy resolve is yet unbroken. So be it. Thou hast earned the truth. He was consumed by the curse, and was taken by a deep, abiding slumber. Yet his soul remained alive. So from his earthly form, I extracted his soul, that he might travel the land in Odyssey. And thus his stilled sands began to flow once more. Thy journey hast taken thee far, and taught thee much. So now I ask thee, who art thou?
I'm the Prince's friend.
Is that truly thy role? Clear your mind and think, to name but a few. Thy parents? Memories of thy youth? Hast thou any recollection of where and how thy youngest years were spent? Yes, thy memories begin the moment thou befriend the Prince. Dost thou suspect the reason?
I don't have a past.
As I said, thou hast nothing. Thou art a being of mine own creation. 'Twas Gallica alone who the Resistance laid their hopes upon all those days past. Thy life had yet to begin. All thou hadst, all that had been bestowed, was a memory. Thy mission to save the prince. Thy memories of youth in the prince's company, and the void enshrouding all else in thy past. All signs of thy conjured existence.
I have nothing?
Nay, the words of the prince in thy memory are unmistakably of his true heart. The memories gained on thy journey, the friendships made, the trust forged. These true things art thine own. All thy trials, all thy experiences wert to prepare thee for this day, to share the strength thou hast gained with thy other self.
Do you mean...
Accept the truth, and thou wilt face an ordeal beyond any you have yet faced. If thy desire is instead for freedom, thou mayest still abandon thy mission, and end it here.
Is that right?
So I bid thee answer my final question. Who art thou in truth?
I am... the prince.
What is this? I feel a curious resonance.
Could this be? But how? Impossible.
So, as you may have gathered from the language used there, that is indeed a bad ending split. So if you're curious how things would go if we either responded to all of the voices' questions with despair or refused to know at the end, here it is.
So now I ask thee, who art thou?
I'm nobody.
Indeed. Thou art to name but a few. Thy parent? So ye moved.
It came to nothing.
Thus, thou didst declare thyself the prince.
It was all a mistake.
Yet by the cruel machinations of another, the young prince...
He lies dead before me.
Thy dream stands unfulfilled. Thou art adrift in the depths, and despair hath claimed thee. Oh, alas. I believed thee ready to realize the truth. Ready to confront thy truest trial. Bereft of him, thou hast no further reason to live.
And this is where it ends.
Art thou certain? Is this truly where thy road ends? If the prince is dead, wert thy efforts all for naught?
It's time to end this.
Art thou certain? Is this truly where thy road ends? Who art thou in truth?
I don't want to know who I am.
So, thou art unable to face thy true self. If that is thy true wish, then so be it.
The prince and the hope that rested upon him was no more. The banner they strove to raise fell to ruin. Unity forged among allies and promised to the people was a fleeting hope. The opportunity passed. Only Luis, the sworn enemy, remained to take the throne. And then, inevitably, the day came. The authority of the king's magic, along with the royal scepter, were passed into Luis's wanting hands. That was the day fantasy died. No one knows what became of the kingdom thereafter. All that is certain is that none of their names, not even those of the heroes, passed into history. All else vanished, untold.
But now, here's what really happened.
Hey, what's going on?
What awaits us now?
Hark, life is not yet lost. Thou wert born apart from the prince's flesh, born of his desire to change the world. In his stead didst thou travel the world. Thou didst support his heart, and became his living fantasy. That is thy true self. Thou art everything the prince sought to be, his ideal.
What? What is this?
What's happened?
Thou hast done well to guide him this far.
This voice. I'm sure I've heard it before.
Thy mind should now be clearing. Remember now thy true charge. He was never a member of the Resistance. The mission, the departure, was thine alone. And thereafter didst thou encounter him.
Who are you? Wait, what am I saying?
In those long ago days, he had just been born into this land. Newborn in form, if not in appearance, the boy needed a guide. Thus, I decided his memories would be thine. Thou wouldst share past and purpose, a memory so crafted to suit thee. My journey to the capital would not be made alone, but alongside him.
No, that can't be. He was there when we got our orders.
I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
No! But... I was alone?
By this choice, he might be saved. By these gentle, necessary lies, we could live to see this day, when our dearest wish is fulfilled. As he traveled alongside thee, he gained both strength and wisdom. It is only by thy efforts that my voice reached him. He has now been saved. And so, the journey ends here. Thou hast fulfilled thy mission admirably.
What? Wait just a minute. What do you mean, it ends here?
From here on, thy path is thy own. Choose thy own future for thyself, and may the fates smile on thy journey.
How do we make sense of this?
Is it really you? How do you feel?
I feel a bit lighter.
There seems to be no doubt. He is still himself. But I also sense His Highness within him.
Everyone? I need to tell you something. The truth is...
So let me get this straight. You're saying it's not a matter of our captain and His Highness joining together, but that the former was this disembodied entity sprung from the latter?
Then that's why he had no memories? 'Cause he didn't even exist?
I see. Finally, I understand the strange feeling I had sensed upon our meeting. What shaped you, so to speak, was the prince's will itself.
You know, with Yuffie's ability to sense Magla, maybe on some level she was sensing the fact that he was nothing but Magla.
A part of his consciousness. Yes, the prince's very heart. He was his soul given flesh. Perhaps the form we knew was one shaped by material Magla, much like how the dragon god manifests beyond the vessel Drakadios.
A mass of Magla with a will. Forget the dragon god. He may as well have been a dragon himself.
Oh yeah, by the definition of them in this world. We were playing as a dragon the whole time, yay!
Small wonder he awakened to an archetype before anyone else. It was no great aptitude for magic. He himself was composed of pure Magla.
The self, as a manifestation of one's desires. Similar to archetypes. I suppose this is the very essence of magic.
And of course, this is very Jungian. Studio Zero could not abandon their roots.
You mean to say that it was not merely pretense to claim the prince's name? He truly was His Highness all along?
Well, I mean, actually that was a coincidence. We just happened to say, we'll impersonate the prince, not even realizing that, we were actually not lying.
If that's true, this is finally your reunion with your sworn liege. Seems like cause for rejoicing, eh? Lady Hulkenberg of the Royal Guard.
But I failed to protect His Highness.
No. I am sure the strength of your devotion had a hand in saving him.
While all and sundry believed the lad had shuffled off, You alone kept the faith, milady. And in the end, that faith was rewarded.
What is interesting is those bad endings where the prince is stated to have died. I wonder what happens to Will in those. Did he just fade out of existence, or it's a question to think about.
Fate was changed.
But yeah, if we hadn't believed and if we hadn't done everything we'd done over the course of this journey, then he definitely would have just died.
Are you really His Royal Highness the Prince? Please, please forgive me, Your Highness. I failed you when you needed me most. And more. Despite being a member of your royal guard, I did not recognize Your Highness at our meeting and showed you such insolence.
Actually, you've been there for me this whole time.
He's right, you know. If we'd not met you, we'd certainly never have made it this far.
This time, I will protect you. Even should it cost me my very life. I swear to it.
Finally, we've done Grius proud. We've really done it.
By the way, what are we supposed to call you now? I mean, how would you prefer to be addressed, my lord?
You can just keep, calling me Captain.
No, Your Highness! With all respect, I must object.
But this is no time to be thick-headed, Miguel. He's the one who gets to decide what we bally call him, so we'll listen to him, eh? What?
You, sir, should be begging His Highness for forgiveness on bended knee. You mangled the royal runner to your own whimsy, you lout!
Well, that is, I mean, it was all dashed useful in the end, wasn't it? A bit of clemency, Your Highness.
So much for acting same as always.
And I like that his voice even just goes back to the way it is as Will. It's like, be careful, he is no longer the Will you once knew. Actually, he is exactly the Will you once knew.
It's beyond belief. Not just that a child who'd lain cold for years could come back to us, but through such extraordinary circumstances.
There is a lot more that I want to talk about regarding this, but I'll save it until after we're out of cutscene mode.
After so long in the curse's thrall, he could not even open his eyes. He may as well have been a corpse. But all this time, he had been on his own journey. It was the boy's dearest wish. He spoke of a fantasy of traveling the world, meeting its people, seeing its truths. And without him even knowing, magic made it real.
But I do appreciate this angle of the story. It's a very interesting thing that you can only really do in a high fantasy setting, but it is something that is very true to life. There are a lot of people who have things they want to do in life, who want to go out, see the world, and make change, but circumstances prevent them, whether it's their own bodies, whether it's the places they live in, whether it is their occupations or the society that they're in. But the idea of that idealized self, the idea of, if I was able to do all this, this is the kind of person that I would be. And there are tools these days that do allow people to live out that kind of thing. Video calls from across the world, using the internet. There are ways that this can happen, even though it's not in the same literally magical sense as in this world. And I'm giving my talk here. I would say I was going to do it later, but this is why I am okay with this plot point, because to a lot of people, this is, I can understand why people would be mad that, like, the protagonist was actually not only royalty all along, but the son of the previous king all along. When, doesn't that invalidate the whole point about the election and about the people choosing their next ruler, if it's just continuing the same line of succession and the monarchy all along? But I think it really does play into this game's themes of fantasy, and especially the idea that a fantasy can change the world, and the fact that you can be inspired by fiction to become your best self, because that's what Will is. In fact, that's where his canonical name Will, it doesn't just come from the name of real-life kings, but like he's literally the prince's will made manifest. Although I think it's also implied that because the prince is never referred to a name, the prince has the same name as whatever you name the protagonist. And also, I should mention this now, it is painfully obvious on a second viewing that he also has the same voice actor. You don't really notice it the first time because you aren't looking for it, but if you are, trust me, you will notice.
Familiar words. When I'm down, when I struggle, you're always there to help me through it. Let's do it. You'll be a hero. Trust me.
So, Will is essentially the prince's D&D character, or the prince's idealized self-insert, and it's very interesting to see just such a positive take on that concept. It kind of, in a way, resonates with me a little bit, because on this channel in the past, I kind of used to belittle the idea of self-inserts in fiction. I made an entire playthrough censoring around satirizing self-inserts in fanfiction, and like, I've kind of grown out of that mentality now. I'm starting to realize that expressing yourself through fiction as an idealized version of yourself can have its benefits, and this story is an example of the power of that.
He is a child of Elden blood and Elden legacy. All these years he spent in the village, he has rested near the secret of true magic. Perhaps this is how it came to be.
His was a fantasy surpassing fantasy. It became more than a dream, but a self-possessed force acting of its own volition. And now, reunited, Prince and fantasy live anew.
A journey to discover and reclaim the self, in all senses. No wonder he set off the custom igniter in the Royal Gauntlet Runner. It was the Crown Prince himself.
Yeah, that was by far the biggest hint at this.
Even having it all explained like this, it feels like nothing short of a miracle.
I can only guess that fate had a hand in it.
Fate, or a certain feminine voice that all of us have been hearing during our awakenings.
That's right. I remember, I heard a voice. Guide him, it said.
A voice? Whose?
If you can't remember anything from before our journey, then we probably met after you'd only just... happened, right? I shouldn't have known you then. But for some reason, I was convinced that we'd always been together. I thought we both received the order to save the prince, too. Ever since the moment I heard that weird voice guiding me.
A voice? Lady Gruade mentioned a revelation. Hold on, are we still being mystic and metaphorical, or was there an actual guide involved?
I know someone was guiding me. I just don't know who.
So a disembodied voice. Hang on. Come to think of it, that sounds a bit familiar for me too.
Hey, who do you think the voice belongs to? Any idea?
I have a faint idea, but I'm not entirely sure.
Come to think of it, this place, the light coming in, they seem familiar.
I might say the same. When I first acquired this power, I had a vision of someone not unlike these grounds.
Does this mean that we've been guided as well?
Perhaps someone has been at your side unseen, watching over the course of your journey. I imagine all this comes as a great shock for you as well. But here you are, back in your rightful place. You have come to the end of your arduous journey and found new life. It is a life well won, grasped with your own two hands.
And I think the other reason why I'm not bothered by Will being the prince is that this isn't a case of him becoming the next king entirely because of his bloodline. Through this journey, he has truly proved that he is the person most fit to lead the country. He genuinely has come to meet and care for all of the people who live here.
Chief Descruide, we want to know everything. What is the truth behind your tribe, the Elda?
Okay, well, we're about to get into some kind of separate story revelations here, so one final thing. So you may have heard me at points calling this game the real Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. Well, now you know the main reason. The protagonist was a blue-haired, sword-wielding prince who goes on a journey to save the country. Yeah, he's literally a Fire Emblem protagonist.
We Mustari are also said to have inherited truths of the world before us. Histories hushed by Sanctism. But this village, it is something altogether different. I myself feel a strange familiarity here. A lost haven underground, yet letting of the sky's light. Please, tell us, what is the Elder tribe?
To know what we are, you must first know our history. Come to the altar room past the door. I'll wait for you there.